Hey, Sprite. Period.
Period.
Sprite's good. Oh, I'm echoing. Oh wait, never mind. That's just me. That's just my. Completely forgot I had the audio on for the tab. IPS. Hi, Yori.
Hi, everyone.
We out here. Do we do like tags for our special guest? G? Do you do tags? Okay. Never mind.
I'm half Puerto Rican, but it's fine.
Oh! Wait, you're kind of like Miles Morales.
Basically, yeah. It's my dad and not my mom. Yeah.
Yassine! Hi, Yassine! Stop spamming caps. That's crazy. Nightbot needs to relax. That's me. Howdy do, Yassine. Welcome in, lady. The spiciest of Kira's.
It's me.
So yeah, like I said, I'm Kira. I be on Twitch too. I usually game, but lately I've become a parent to a beautiful little girl. She should be eating and sleeping. But other than that, I be gaming.
You really do be gaming, literally. Oh, lady says that Kira, you're a little bit low. Your volume.
Can you hear me now?
I think the AirPods are not.
Yeah.
Do you have like other headphones?
I don't. I actually don't. Does it sound better now?
Or a black screen, G? It's okay. That's better? Yeah, Yori says it's better.
Okay.
Fishbowl. Okay, Nightbot needs to relax. Oh, Yori says she can't hear you at all, G.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, I'm on my phone, so I'm not at home.
No, the clip thing is you have to. It's another third-party website. You have to. Okay. Nightbot's shouting out. Oh. Oh, Nightbot, if you spam an emote for too many times, it gets angry. You have to adjust the settings for Nightbot. I need to go back. Okay, let me put the link in chat. Actually, Kira, why don't you read? Can you read? While I put the thing in chat. There we go.
Alright.
I'll read the next one.
It's the first one, right? My boyfriend let me do the parenting? Okay. So.
Oh, sorry. Wait, boyfriend, let me do the parent. Oh, that was the first link you sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first link you sent me. Okay, so I'll do the third one you sent. Sorry, it's this one, guys. My bad. I'm gonna pin this.
Just I'll do this one or do it the...
Just do the boyfriend let me parenting. Do the parenting.
Okay.
Yeah.
My boyfriend and I are going to have a baby girl, 16 weeks. I moved in with him and I found out I'm pregnant. The problem is he also has a 14-year-old daughter from a previous relationship who is extremely spoiled, and it's my boyfriend's fault. Some examples are that she will only wear designer clothes, which I think is very unnecessary for a kid, and my boyfriend has a maid, so she has never done a chore in her whole life. A few weeks ago, I asked her to wash the dishes, and she looked at me like I'm insane and said, F off. The maid will do it. Oh, okay. She is exactly how I don't want my child to be. So a few days ago, my boyfriend and I were talking about the baby, and he was talking about his plans for when the baby is born and how much he is going to spoil her. I told him that it's better if he let me do all the parenting. He asked why, and I gently explained to him that he has already raised a child and I don't want my child to end up like her. So it's better if he just leaves the parenting to me. He got mad and called me an asshole and asked me if I have a problem with his daughter. I said I don't, but I want to raise my child differently, and he sarcastically told me that maybe I should move out and be a single parent and see how I like it. Oh, okay. Now he won't talk to me, and I'm wondering if I shouldn't have said that. Wow.
Okay, what are your thoughts, girl?
Well, she definitely could have went a different way about it, because she definitely could, even though that he taught his child that way. Since she's now in his life, I feel like she could have talked to him about it first, and then they could have sat down with the child as well. You know, she's the new parent now, so she could have definitely tried to, I don't know, not fix her, but fix her. And so yeah, she could have went a different way about it instead of saying that I don't want him to do all the parenting. I'm going to do all the parenting. That's crazy. But at the same time, they are boyfriend and girlfriend. They're not married. So I guess maybe she's not thinking about that like as a, full-time thing. So for him to say that after she said that, I feel like he does have a right to call her asshole.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I think, yeah, I think like parenting requires like, responsibilities from both parents, and that both parents are responsible for raising their child. And she can't just go, I want to raise my child this specific way.
Right.
Just because his daughter from another marriage turned out to be like that doesn't mean that this next child is going to be like that. And also, a good example is like me and my brother. We were raised by the same parents, but we're completely different people. So I feel like every child is going to have a different personality. And also, low-key, if that boyfriend is spoiling his daughter, I feel like you should have seen the red flags from the beginning, before getting in a relationship and getting knocked up by him. So I don't know, you should You should have seen that. Those red flags. I don't know. I would not get knocked up by a guy who spoils his daughter like that. I don't know.
Right. To have her, be rude and everything. That's kind of crazy.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm. Right.
Oh, gee, they can't hear you. Maybe you change your microphone
audio?
settings.
Your impact.
Your audio settings, yeah. GT no speaky. Lady. Yep. In darkness.
Or in darkness.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Good one, P.S. I'm here to talk with you again. He's back. Can you guys hear him? Can't hear him. Oh no.
Still? See?
Is it your Streamlabs settings? Yeah, sometimes you have to change the mic setting.
Oh,
Yeah, but
for
it's
some
not
reason,
changing.
Ruh-roh. That's right, Yassine.
okay, there we go. I don't know, for
There
some
you go.
reason it
You hear him?
okay, yeah. For some reason it didn't just OBS with my mic. I don't know, that's weird. Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I think they were both out of pocket because, like I said, that was an extreme reaction. Well, I mean, they both had extreme reactions to like the situation. One, him telling her to be a single parent and she can get out. That's crazy. And then her being like, yeah, I just want to solo raise my kid. You have no say whatsoever, even though it's your daughter. That's crazy. So yeah, definitely have a conversation. Like if the daughter is spoiled, she shouldn't be disrespectful like that. First of all,
Yeah.
even if they have a maid, that's still a crazy thing to how to address someone. So they definitely need to have a conversation. I would definitely say she's an asshole just because you can't tell someone that's you had the kid with that they can't parent them at all. Especially if they want to be involved with the kid. Like a lot of people don't want to be involved with the kids that they have. So yeah, they need to talk that out. She definitely could have found a better way on how to tell him about her concerns about them parenting. But yeah, that was insane. So yeah, I think we're all in agreement that she is the asshole in this situation.
But I see where she's coming from of not wanting her child to be spoiled like the
Oh, yeah.
daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I see where she's coming from because I would not want
Oh yeah.
mine to be like that too.
What did you want to say, Kate?
For sure, but she's still an asshole because at least like she didn't even talk to him about it.
No, right.
Like the way that she came about it, it could have went so totally different. if she actually spoke to him about it, or if she noticed those signs beforehand. She should have said something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's still
Yeah.
an asshole at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no slack. Okay. So I guess we can move on to the second story, which would be, I guess, the one you were doing before, Money, which was, am I the
That's the
asshole
second
for, well, for me.
For telling my friend she needs to be better at parenting.
Okay, you can do that one. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Which one? No. Wait, which one?
It's just I copied it in the wrong order from when I sent you, so it's fine. It doesn't matter. Whichever one.
I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah, the order doesn't matter.
Okay, I have Okay. Let me do this. Am I the asshole for undermining my significant lover? Wait, who? Wait. Oh, sister-in-law. SIL is sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh, my day was good, Sini. Thank you for asking. How was your day? Sister-in-law's parenting and making her daughter hate her. Let me just pin the message. This is the next story we are reading, everyone. Chat if you want to follow through. So I, female 38, have 2 daughters. Female 13, female 8, with my husband Max, M 40. Max's sister Rose, female 30, has a 11-year-old daughter, Anna. Rose never told us who Anna's dad is, and he is not in the picture. Max's mom helped Rose with childcare till she graduated college. Unfortunately, Max's mom, died in 2020 due to COVID. Rose had to leave city for a month for her work. She asked if we could take in Anna, and we agreed. In our house, my kids are responsible for washing their own dishes or putting them in the dishwasher, putting clothes in laundry, and cleaning up their own messes. I don't assign any chores or have them help out more because I believe they should use that time for studying or other activities they partake in. But they also don't have phones and have to use laptop in common areas, so they are not goofing off. They both read a lot, which I love, as a bookworm myself. They don't have bedtimes or rule to keep their rooms perfectly clean. I was raised in a house where both these existed and I hated them. Little messiness, while ruining aesthetic, won't kill me. I do teach them all life skills such as cooking, cleaning, laundry, shopping, etc. Even my 8-year-old knows this. I just do this during vacations. I don't like taking time away during school year. They are expected to do well in school and get into activities which they do. This was surprising to Anna when she came to live with us. Rose had strict rules about bedtime, room cleanliness, and asked Anna to help with all the chores. My bookworm school-oriented kids made Anna want to study more. She asked if I could help her study like I help my kids. I said yes, and she performed really well in school that month. Her A's went up on our fridge with her cousins, and we were all happy for her. But when Rose came back last month and took Anna home, her grades started dropping again. Anna blamed Rose for making her work so hard and said, "I hate you. I wish me, the author, was my mom." Rose called and blamed me for putting ideas into her daughter's head, that she doesn't have a partner and can't maintain a perfect house like me. She said I was an asshole for undermining her parenting and making her daughter hate her, quote unquote hate her. Am I the asshole?
Want to give your take first, Kira?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Kira. She got something to say.
Oh, first of all, the fact that she was even like she had the audacity to be like, you're an asshole for like making like she's the asshole for making her daughter hate her. Like, I mean, it's not her fault that she was eligible to do all the things that she couldn't do. At the same time, it's like, I mean, you can't really change like how you were raised and how you are in general. So for her calling her an asshole and making her hate her, it's really like you're a lose there. There's really nothing that she could really do. And she could possibly like give some tips or pointers or something, maybe ask like how you do this, how do you do that, help her out.
Mhm.
Alright. My bad. She was crying.
No worries, no worries.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, if you have to step away, that's also okay. Don't worry about that. Yeah, I agree. I like I said, I'm not a parent, but I can understand how the inferiority, maybe a little inferiority complex could come into that. A lot of people don't like to ever admit that they're wrong, and maybe what they're
Right.
doing is wrong. And I feel like I don't know. Every kid is different, right? Every kid learns differently. But I feel like if your kid gets to that point where they say they hate you and wish that someone else is their parent, then you got to take a look at what you're doing, right? I'm not saying that doesn't mean that like all kids are perfect or whatever, and they don't say things to hurt you as as a parent. But I feel like that's something that has been building up for a while at least in my opinion, for your kid to say that. So I can understand the mom's frustration at being told that because that hurts, right? We're human. Things hurt when they're said. However, to take that out on your sister, I'm assuming they're sisters. That's wrong.
Sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law. Yeah, that's wrong. Like, just ask her, what did you... Huh? Sorry? Say that again?
I didn't even know that was her sister-in-law.
Yeah.
That's even crazy.
Yeah, sister-in-law. I would have asked her, like, instead of accusing her of putting ideas in her head, I would have asked her what all went on when you were... First, I would have asked what all went on when she was there. And obviously, like, seeing the fact that her grades went up after the effect of her being there, that's a good thing. That's something you would want for your kid. So I would ask what you did differently. And then I would evaluate what I did as a parent and like, am I too harsh with her? I mean, the whole thing with chores is like, I don't know, me personally, I feel like, yes, you should make your kid responsible for taking care of their stuff, like cleaning up their own dishes, making their own room, cleaning up the messes that they made behind. Yeah. But if you're asking them to do extra stuff, I feel like you should give them some incentive, maybe like a little allowance or something. You do this, you get enough money to go to the movies or something like that. The stuff that's not, the stuff that's not required for them to do. Like having her do all the chores is crazy. Yeah, I can understand maybe your logic is trying to make her responsible, but like that's not how life works, and it's usually not how adulting works, right? Yeah, especially if you have roommates. Yeah, you're responsible for yourself, not for your roommate. So yeah, that's at least my take. So I don't think the sister-in-law is the asshole at all. I feel like the mom kind of needs to swallow her pride and take a good hard look in the mirror and see if what she's doing is the right parenting method. But yeah, what do you think, Money?
Yeah, no, she's not the asshole, and I feel like this parenting method from this mom works best for Anna. Like, it worked for her, and the sister-in-law, Rose, should take it into account, like, how she parented and how the grades improved. What was she doing? What did the mom do to make her better? Because maybe Rose's parenting, there's different ways, like, it's objective to say what is good and what is bad parenting. But maybe Rose's parenting was just not fit for Anna. Just wasn't fit. Maybe she was too restrictive, too, like, strict on Anna. And I think I also kind of like the way that the author parents in terms of prioritizing reading, like reading books.
Oh yeah.
Getting the kids to be responsible for their own dishes. What else? And the fact that, like, she put up the little the homework or test grade, the A on the fridge with the other kids, like, that kind of shows how she is proud of her niece's accomplishments. Yeah. Just like her own daughters. Yeah. And, like, I think, me personally, like, having a parent who's proud of their kids' accomplishments and their work and stuff like that, that kind of gives them an incentive to want to do better. Like, oh, my aunt or uncle is proud of me for doing this. I want to keep doing this. I want to keep getting A's. I want to do better. So, but yeah, Rose didn't have to be so, like, obviously her ego was hurt. Her ego was hurt. Her ego was bruised. And and like I understand like maybe some people don't have certain means to parent a certain way, like they can't afford like a tutor, for example. Some parents can't afford a tutor because it's too costly, too much money. I feel like there's different ways of going about it though.
Yeah, because like
yelling at your sister-in-law.
Yeah, that you can even swallow your pride, and again, parenting is hard and it's different. It's different situations for different people. Like growing up for me, I was more of a kid of the internet just because my mom was a single mom, and like my dad died, and she didn't really have as much time for me in my older years. So yeah, I was more of an internet kid. So like that's not necessarily their fault. My mom was working to like pay bills and stuff. So like for me as a parent, if I was in her situation, I know I don't really have time to sit down with my kid as much as like my sister-in-law. I would try to work out something with my sister-in-law, like, hey, can she come over in the afternoons because she really enjoys studying and trying to increase her knowledge and stuff. Like this is something, seems to be something she enjoys, and see if I can work that out versus like getting mad at the fact that my sister-in-law is giving her kids quality education, quality time. Like sometimes your parents can't. Like you can't criticize them all the time, because like if they're working hard to pay the bills, like you're working hard 9 to 5, maybe you even have 2 jobs. Like the last thing you have time to do is sit down with your kid. Some people will glorify like, oh well, I still make time for my kids even though I'm tired. And I was like, well, that's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
some people can't do that. They need time to de-stress after work, especially depending on the day that they had. You don't want to put that energy. You don't want to actually accidentally make your kid an outlet for all the frustration that you build up during work. So, but like I said, some people don't learn how to rationalize, and depending on their upbringing, depending on how their parent is, maybe they learn how to express frustration in different ways. So, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think the sister-in-law is an asshole, but yeah, I feel like that mom has a lot of pride swallowing to do if she wants a better relationship with her kid. Oh, sorry. Also, I forgot to start reading comments. So I'm going to go back. Just make sure. Okay. Lady says, should have talked about the issue first and said we can work it out. We can work on it with her and change the way she handled the next one. That was the one we were talking about with the kid. Yori says, I think it's also because it might be just the Anna and her mom, so the mom feels her kid should be doing chores, but also it shouldn't be like that. No, not at all.
Exactly.
Or if that's the case, like I said, if the parenting style is she's a single mom and she needs that help from Anna, compensate her in some way. Either pay her if you can, or maybe give her her favorite treat, or be like, hey, if you do all these chores, I'll take you XYZ. Some way. Try to compensate her for doing these things.
I wish my parents gave me a salary or like a little like reward thing. I never got that though.
Yeah, no. You better get in there and do them dishes, yeah.
I just got told do the dishes and I did it.
Yeah. Hime said, oh my god, same Jijing, mom single and dad dead. Yeah, mom. So like I said, I never really take, anything hard on my mom. My mom worked as hard. She was a teacher. So she had to come home from dealing with kids to deal with kids. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah, okay. And then I'll read I guess we all are ingredients that she's not the asshole.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, wait. Hime says, my mom didn't make me do anything. Just let me do whatever. Yeah, I mean, again, this is me being biased, but I think I was a pretty decent kid. Like, I didn't sneak out. I was more of a nerd. Like, while people were partying, I was inside reading books about Narnia and the Hobbits and the fucking shit like that. So, yeah, I was a pretty good kid. I wasn't out here on these streets. Which is funny, because, like, the one time I was walking to a friend's house, I guess a family member or friend saw me, and they told my mom, EJ's in these streets, right? I'm like, to walk to my friend's house? I'm like, okay. I guess I'm in these streets for real. But, yeah. Okay.
I didn't leave the house until I was older. Until I actually left the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same. all my friends in high school were partying, doing drugs and this and that, drinking. I was at home watching anime, watching anime.
Yeah, like okay, yeah, like okay. So I don't really care about this, but like I'm outing myself. I was born in 1990, so I'm like one of the last generation where we didn't have cell phones growing up, right? We were out. You did shit. Either you're inside reading or you were outside until the street lights came on, and your parents just didn't know where the fuck you were, right? They just had to, give Jesus the wheel and hope you were all right, and you came home at the end of the day. So like, yeah. So my childhood wasn't really like, I was pretty okay. Like I wasn't really out here partying. Yeah. I was at the park for the most of the time if we were outside, or at the corner store buying stuff like honey buns when chips were 25 cents.
Oh my god.
But yeah, just like
like I spent most of my childhood outside, like playing outdoors with the neighborhood kids, getting into fights with them, whatever.
Yeah,
we were on our phones.
It wasn't until what, when cell phones came out, what, in like 2004, 2003, about that. The modern then, like flip phones.
I didn't get my first phone until I was like 13 years old.
Yeah,
12 or 13, when I was in grade 6 or 7.
Yeah.
When did you guys get your first phone?
I was in 8th grade. Yeah, I was in 8th grade.
I was a Yeah, I was a sophomore. Yeah.
Oh, BlackBerry.
Oh yeah. Oh, you had a BlackBerry? Nice. I had
old BlackBerry.
Yeah, I had this. What was it? Samsung flip phone with like this big ass camera lens in the middle, and I thought it was the shit. Oh my god! I remember recording songs off the radio for my ringtone. That's crazy. Yeah, that's how old I am.
Old days.
Yeah, and then the whole call me after a certain time because my minutes are free. Yeah, I'm from that. So yeah. Okay, let me read the last story.
We had a couple comments in
there. Okay, yeah. You want to read some?
Yeah, let me just see. Hime says, I was a nerd, so mom didn't care about me. I helped voluntarily, just saw mom doing something, just helped out, I guess. That's nice.
Yeah.
And Hime says, I just stay home and watch anime. We are the same, Hime. Yori says the last century was something else. That's true. That's true.
Jeez.
Hime said didn't have one till college. Damn.
Oh, till college? Man, yeah, that's a minute.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's see.
Damn.
Okay.
My first one was LG.
Oh, your first one? LG? Everyone wanted razors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the flip phone razors? Yeah. Oh my gosh. I remember the commercials for like iPods and stuff like that. Those are funny.
Oh my gosh. I remember having to like go on LimeWire.
Oh yeah,
like,
LimeWire.
Websites to download stuff on my iPod.
Download music?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I missed the 2000s, but we're never going back, unfortunately. Let's see. I think I'll wait a bit more for Kara. Yeah, I had a MySpace too.
AOL.
Do you remember your top 10 friends?
Oh my gosh. I didn't use MySpace back then though. I used oh my gosh. It was I forgot the name. Oh my. It was the other one. Not
Tagged?
MySpace, but the other one. Which one?
Tagged?
Not Tagged. Oh my gosh. It was like a Windows thing. I think it was Windows. But it was
MSN Messenger?
MSN. Yes.
Oh yeah, I used MSN Messenger.
Yes, I used MSN.
Hey, no worries. Have another special guest with us.
Oh yeah, we got another special guest. She got something to say on the pod.
Wow. That's so deep. It's so deep.
Wait. Bitch, I'm a baby.
Let's see. Okay.
Like the baby.
Yeah, the baby. Alright, I'm gonna read the last Am I the Asshole story.
Is it the first?
Yeah, am I the asshole for telling my friend she needs to be better at parenting?
Okay. Go ahead.
Alright. Okay, guys. My 21 female coworker and my friend 28 female has a 5-year-old who is the sweetest thing, yet a total brat. Okay. She has been spoiled since she popped out the womb. Extravagant gifts and her parents rarely say no to her. With it being Halloween season, I've been dying to go to Halloween horror nights at Universal Studios. My boyfriend works for Universal and gets in for free. A comp ticket used for me, and discounts on food and merch. She and her husband had been wanting to go and decided to join us last minute. We were talking about it at her place when her daughter overheard. Suddenly she was whining and complaining wanting to go. This event is definitely not one you should bring your kids to. It's full of jump scares, gore, and drunk adults. We are also planning to go at 8 p.m. and stay until 2 in the morning. Okay. I didn't even know they stayed open that late. When I was a kid, when I was there, she changed the subject, and it seemed like her kid had forgot about it. However, the night of they showed up with their kid. She was jumping up and down excited. I asked if she was sure about this and if she understood what this event was. Even the ticketing and security asked if they were sure. Well, sure enough, 10 minutes past the gate, she was screaming and crying. The scare actors didn't even go near her. Just looking at them scared her. They kept her there for another 2 hours. We only did one of the 10 houses with them. Her dad had to hold her the entire time, and we had to keep stopping because she was too scared to keep going. I pulled my friend to the side and I told her they needed to take her home and that they need to learn to say no to her and not spoil her or give her into her all the time, and that now she's probably traumatized and isn't going to sleep because they were reckless enough to bring her to something like this. She got extremely upset at me and said I would never understand because I don't have kids, even though I work in a daycare and work with kids her age every day. 5 days a week. She said I was being insensitive and that her kid should be allowed to enjoy the night too, even when I told her kid obviously wasn't. My boyfriend and I end up leaving them and going off to do our own thing. She told her mutual friends a different version of the story to make me sound bad, and now I have everyone calling me an asshole and bitch. My other friend thinks I might have overstepped and crossed the line, but my boyfriend thinks my opinion was valid, and it concerns the emotional health of a child. So should I have kept it to myself or used better wording? P.S. Getting a better babysitter wasn't even an issue. My friend's mom is always helping out, and the original plan was her mom was going to keep the kid for the night anyways. I haven't even talked to her mom about it when I bumped into her at the grocery store the day before the event, and she was excited to have her granddaughter over. From what I learned was that night she kept wanting to go into a tantrum, so they had to give in and somehow got a ticket to take her with. Yeah. So, what do you think, Kira?
I don't think she was an asshole. I feel like she definitely could have kept out. Like, she definitely could have just said the part where she said, this girl is scared. Like, the kid is scared.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Everything else after that, she really didn't have to say, which possibly made the other parents say what she said. Like, you don't have kids, you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So she really should have just said, please take her home. She's scared, because that's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah, I don't think she was really an asshole. She just, I guess, when she asked if she needed better wording, just that's it. Really, just say the main issue. She's scared,
Mm-hmm.
and we're trying to make sure the kid's not scared.
Yeah. I think in general, like, that's not an appropriate place for any kid,
right?
At all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, you agree? Okay.
Yeah, he agrees.
Okay.
I agree.
Speak on
Okay.
Period.
Yeah, but I personally, again, I'm not a parent. I don't need. Again, I hate when parents use that excuse, or people use that excuse like, "Oh, well, you're not a parent, so you wouldn't understand." It's like, no, that's just common sense. Yeah. I'm not bringing my kid to a place of horror, at the age of 8 or 6 or whatever age she is. Like, I wouldn't even expect my kid to be at least 15 maybe before they even do something like that. You know what I mean? What do you think, Bunny?
Oh, yeah, no, she's not the asshole at all. Honestly, I was annoyed while you were really like.
Yeah.
I don't have to be a parent or a mom to know that if she's scared, she shouldn't have been on this thing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the parents knew the consequences. They knew coming into this that this was not an event for kids. This was for adults, and yet the parents still brought her along.
Mm-hmm.
And the author is being reasonable by telling her like, are you sure? She knew the consequence. She knew that the kid was gonna be traumatized from this, and I think she is. If she's crying, she's not comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like the coworker should not have lied or made up a whole story. That's kind of rude. That's mean. What else? Yeah. So the parents should say no sometimes. Mm-hmm. Just no is no. Like, you don't have to bring your kid to every single thing. And yeah, honestly, I would hate to like drag a child, a screaming, crying child. Maybe I just don't have patience. But I would hate to drag a screaming, crying child with me on a trip or like on an event or something like that. So,
yeah. Also, it's like, again, everyone is different, and like it's okay to bring your kids to things with friends, but I feel like some events you don't need to bring your kid everywhere, right? That is clearly an adult thing, like adult hangout. Like you don't need to bring your kid there, and they could have stayed. Again, she said the babysitting thing wasn't even an issue. She was supposed to stay with her grandmother, so why wouldn't you leave her there? You could, as a parent, I feel like you would have had more fun had you not have to worry about your kid and making sure they were okay too. Because you also have to keep in mind that this is an amusement park, so if they run off, you also have to deal with that as well. I don't know. Just again, I if anything, I would say maybe she could have worded it a bit differently in terms of like demanding that she take her home. I would have said, I think you should take her home.
Yeah,
instead of
but she
saying,
did
like,
say, I think you should take her home. Like she didn't.
Oh no, she said you need to. There's a, I mean, it's a subtle difference, but she's like, you need to go home. Like you can't tell people what to do. But I would, I'd be like, you know what? At a certain point, maybe I would have even been like, you know what? Hey, me and my boyfriend, we're gonna go do our thing. You guys enjoy your night. And
I would have parted ways with her. As soon as she started crying, I'm like, okay, you guys do your thing. It's super irresponsible to bring your child to the Halloween Horror Nights event thing at Universal. Yeah. But also, I've never been like to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal.
Also, I don't know. Me personally, like if people are just willing to believe one side of the story, like I don't feel like I need friends like that. So
they're co-workers, not even like actual friends.
Though. Yeah, if you're just gonna believe the one side of the story. I mean, but even so, people in general, at least for me, when I have people in my circle and friends like that, if you're willing to just believe one side of the story and just automatically believe I'm an asshole, then like I don't really need to associate myself with you. And I distance myself from people like that. So I don't know. I feel like she kind of the friend that she went out with did her a solid, because she kind of exposed the kind of people that she wants to avoid. In my opinion.
That's not your friend. That's not your friend, girl.
No.
That's not your friend anymore.
It's which is another reason.
Scared. Kids get traumatized.
Yeah. Which is another reason why I prefer not to make friends with my coworkers for reasons like this. But
my coworkers are just my coworkers. Nothing else.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hang outside of work with you.
Yeah, I saw one of the comments on the Reddit story. It's like, you wouldn't take your child to a strip club.
Exactly.
For example.
Exactly.
Like, you wouldn't take they should have stopped her at the door from the very beginning. Security should have stopped her at the door.
Maybe they don't have a policy. Yeah, possibly they don't have a policy that prevents.
Yeah, but until 2 a.m., kids should be asleep by 8.
Yeah,
bro, they should.
Yeah, she's definitely spoiled. Is she 6 too?
She is spoiled.
So I'm assuming she has 5. So maybe she's like in kindergarten. Yeah, then you're gonna have to wake up early for kindergarten.
Oh my god, that's kindergarten.
I don't know. Some parents are delusional.
I haven't been to the Halloween nights at Universal, but I've been to like a Halloween, I guess, season. I've been to Six Flags. Six Flags while it was Halloween season, and they have these like actors coming in and like they're dressed up as zombies, clowns, and stuff like that, and they're pretty scary. They like scream at you, they run up at you, and yeah, that's where they send all the kids home by like 8 or something in the evening, and then after that, like 8 p.m. in the evening, then they get like the older kids. Like, I think mostly like 12 and up, for example.
Yeah, I don't think I can go to Scary Nights because I'll probably swing on one of those.
It was fun. I met a clown.
No, you can't run up on me like that.
You don't like clowns?
Yeah, it's not that. Don't be. Yeah, because like I have the people are fight and flight. I'm the fight, so I'm not. I'm not gonna. Yeah, hold on. Yeah,
we're banning this guy.
Yeah, get out, skedaddle.
Get out me swamp.
Yeah, get out me swamp. Yeah, like again, yeah. When I was a kid with scary stuff. I mean, the Nightmare Before Christmas scared me for years. Way into adulthood. Just the opening of that scared me as a kid. Like the what was it? I'm the monster under your bed and it's just red eyes flashing. And And there's a clown with a tearaway face. Like, get out of here, man.
Bro, you know, Spirited Away scared me when I was a kid.
Spirited Away, yeah. That's fair.
No Face scared me.
The grandma scared me.
Yeah.
Bro, when she rushed that, what's her face? Sen? Nah, I'm not doing all that. I'm swinging. So, yeah. I guess, yeah. So she's not the asshole then.
Good night, bot.
Hey, don't be talking shit about Nightbot. They might ban you. Like, oh, you was talking shit? Nah. Yeah. So I don't think. Yeah, she's not an asshole. Like I said.
Have a warning.
Sorry. Okay.
I'm reading Yori's chat.
Yeah. So I mean, it could, like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, she's not the asshole. Maybe she could have worded it a bit differently, just because you can't really tell people what to do. But for me personally, I'm not. Again, I get to a certain. I'm at the age where I'm not gonna do back and forths with people. Like, obviously, we don't agree on some things, and like, I'm not gonna sit up here and argue with you. You got it. I'm gonna let you go ahead and learn your lesson, whatever. So like, that's the same situation with this
honestly,
couple.
You know what? They should let them.
Yeah, I'm like, you got it.
The consequences of their actions.
Yeah, I'm like, you got it. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy myself over here.
That's their wrongdoing. That's their fault, and let them see how the kid will be traumatized for the rest of their life. They're gonna be forever afraid of clowns or something like that, or zombies or whatever. They're gonna have a fear of those things because their parents let them.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
I would have split with that family from the
from the time.
I would have been like,
she starts screaming or whatever, but like, yeah, we're gonna go do our own thing.
Start screaming, yep. I'm gonna do my own.
Because that ruined the whole night. She said only 1 out of 10 houses they went to. So yeah, So I guess we all agree she's not the asshole.
Yep.
I guess I can move into some of the.
Oh, Yori said that they have a warning that it might be too scary for kids under 13.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, because even in the story.
When I went to Six Flags, it was like there were kids there, but they weren't babies, like 5-year-olds there. There weren't any toddlers.
Yeah.
They were like preteens, some youth, teenagers mostly, but they found it funny.
Yeah, because they're at that age to appreciate it.
Yeah, they're at that age.
Yeah.
Like 5 years old?
Yeah, that's too much.
No.
All right, so I guess we're all in agreement that she's not the asshole. Gonna move into some of the questioning. Though I don't know. I guess Kira's not ready yet. We can discuss some of the.
Kira's still there. Yep.
Yeah, no, she's just dealing with her kid.
Bebe.
Her bebe. Yeah. Yeah, there was a question I wanted to ask. But it's also something that I guess we can all talk about too, because we all have parents. What was about the parenting styles in psychology?
Oh.
Huh? What happened?
I was gonna ask a question similar.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you can ask yours.
I can ask mine?
Yeah.
Okay. I only had the one question, but maybe I'll think of something else. But, okay, Kira, this one's for you, girl. What do you think of, like, gentle parenting versus the authoritative parenting? And what do you think your parenting style would align toward?
Well, I like gentle parenting.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. I really feel like there's a line that can be drawn. That's how I was raised. Because you can still do gentle parenting, tell them. You can still talk to them like they're actual, humans, of course. Because that's what they are. They're just little humans.
They're little humans.
They're fragile. They're very fragile. So I still would want to try gentle parenting for sure. The timeouts, a little, talking, sit down and talk. And then, if that doesn't work, I, am all for getting a belt or popping your hand or your leg. So, yeah. Other than that, exactly. But other than that, yeah. I would say both is needed. To be honest.
A good balance of both.
A good balance of both, exactly.
I'm of the opinion of the same in terms of, but here's the thing. where I know people disagree about like punishing with the belt, but I feel like if you do it, it needs to be done when you're not in a state of anger, because you're not supposed to spank your children out of anger. I think as I've gotten older, right, I think I've been on both extremes where it's like, no, you shouldn't spank your children at all, and then you should spank them. So I've been on both. But as I've gotten older, I just more realized like everything, parenting is different for every kid, right? Every kid is different. Even if you have kids with the same person, one parenting style is not going to work for the other one. And I've seen that mainly in like my nephews. And like one is the kind where you can tell them not to do something and why, and explain the logic and reason behind it, and they won't do it. And the other is they have to try it for themselves. Like the burn hand method, that's how they learn. So like, for example, if I were to tell one of my nephews, like at the time, this is hot, it will burn you, so don't touch it. They're like, okay, I'm not going to touch it. My other one is like, I don't kind of believe you, let me check for myself. And then they burn themselves and they're like, bet, it's hot, I won't ever do it again. So like I said, I think it's depending on the kid is how you parent. I think definitely you should always try gentle parenting first though. But yeah, I think also holding yourself accountable as a parent is necessary. So like if I tell you something, like if you do something and I'm like say whatever, like you didn't clean up your toys, whatever, and then I tell my kid, hey, if you don't clean up your toys, you're not watching TV today, right? And even they're kids, I understand that they do forget, whatever. But like if they don't do it, then I hold myself accountable to be like, hey, I did tell you that if you didn't pick up your toys, you weren't watching TV today, so you're not. Because kids do need discipline, and a lot of kids will try you to see how much they can get away with. And like setting boundaries and letting them understand what boundaries are, and that you're the parent and they're the kid is important. So with that, yeah, I agree. With the gentle parent, I agree with you, Kira, in terms of like, yes, lead with gentle parenting, but it works differently from kid to kid, right?
For sure, definitely. Yeah. Especially to piggyback off of that, like how me and my cousin was raised. Like I was always the one that, because I wasn't a bad kid, but I was always the curious one, trying to be grown and trying to see how much I can get away with. And she was the one, you tell her once, she'll do it. Because I was the one that always wanted to boss other people around and tell them what to do. So yeah, it works differently for every child, for sure.
Yeah. I guess one of the questions I had for you was like, which parent, well, kind of with monies, but there are like there's like 4 main parenting styles, and it ranges from authoritarian authoritarian, which are parents are controlling and demand obedience without considering the child's point of view. They are less likely to encourage open communication and provide less emotional warmth. Permissive, parents are loving, but they don't exert any control. They are often very nurturing and loving, but they are not as strict or demanding as authoritative or authoritarian parents. Authoritative. Parents are firm, but loving and encourage independence within limits. They have high but reasonable and consistent expectation for children's behavior. Communicate well with them and use reasoning rather than coercion to guide children's behaviors. Uninvolved and neglectful. Parents are involved and attached, showing little warmth or responsiveness. They generally still provide for basic needs such as housing, clothing, and feeding, but show little interest in their children beyond these areas. So which one do you feel like you maybe were, I don't know if you want to talk about it, if you were raised with, and which one do you feel like is for your parenting style, or do you feel like which one you would adopt?
For me, I was raised with the first one, for sure. For sure, the first one. How I want a parent would be the third one. Yeah, how I want a parent would be the third one. I was raised with the first one because my mom, she was a single mother for a little bit until I was like 7.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when she actually started having a man around. But before then, well, even after then, especially after then, actually, because people don't really talk about this, but even when you do have a father figure in the house, it changes a lot. Because for her, it was like, she has to ask him, things that she wouldn't really like if you have a kid and then they ask you, can I go to such and such house? And then, her being with this person now, she would ask him like, oh, can they go or whatever, including them in it because they're a parent as well. They're now parenting you. So they were very strict. They wouldn't want me to go anywhere because, how they would always say like, we don't know those people, or we don't know what they could be doing in their house. We don't know if they have a gun in their house. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, couldn't do no sleepovers, couldn't really hang out in a party.
Mm-hmm.
But I would want to be the third one that you said.
Yeah, authoritative.
Authoritative, like a little, still loving and still hearing them out at least, trying to see like where your thought process is before I give you my thought process, and see where your head is at, because at the end of the day you're still a child, and I'm the parent. So still want to tell you like we have rules, and you have to abide by these rules, but still want to also be lenient and let you have fun, let you be a child. At the end of the day, you still have to learn, and I don't want to like shut you out completely. Even though for me, I didn't mind being with strict parents because I was always indoors gaming. I was on the computer, on the Xbox, just gaming. So it just really didn't bother me. I wasn't that person that always wanted to go outside. But for a child that wants to, don't know if later in the future she would want to be a party person, or be into sports, and that comes with a lot of having friends and them inviting you to places. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I was raised initially with authoritarian, and then when my dad died, I think, or even a little bit before that, my mom started to be authoritative. Like she would more explain her reasoning and the things. And I feel like if I ever do become a parent, I don't want to say no to my kids just to say no, right? I feel like a lot of parents do that, where they like, or if they don't say no, they don't explain the reasoning behind it. They just say,
just because I said so.
Yeah, I'm the parent. Yeah, so you got to do what I say. And it's like, that's one of the most frustrating things, because like you can have logical reasons for you wanting to do something, but they don't want to listen to it because they're the parent and I said so. Or why are you arguing with me? And it's like, I want to explain to my kids why I would say no to something, so that they can understand like in the future how to make decisions, right? Not just because I said so. They don't understand why. Yeah, I don't think I think I turned out all right, even with like the authoritative initially. But yeah, I liked having my freedom and being able to choose. I like the fact that my mom trusted me enough to be me, and not get into trouble and stuff like that. And I feel that's how I want with my kids. I want to be able to trust them enough to know that like I taught them well enough not to get into trouble and shit. I mean, kids are kids and they're going to do stuff every now and again. But for the most part, having the general knowledge not to do certain things, yeah, so yeah, that's the one thing I want to be 100% with my kids, is that I'm not going to tell you no just to tell you no. I will explain to you why. Now, when it comes to the issue of you still fighting me back for it, yeah, it's a valid reason, right? And even if, now the issue comes in this where it's a valid reason, they're still being belligerent or whatever, and it's like, okay, look, that's when the whole I am your parent, you have to do what I say comes in. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's only if they're being belligerent, right? But yeah, for the most part, if I have kids, that's kind of how I want to raise them. I'm never going to give them a no without an explanation as to why,
Right.
so they can understand.
That's
I mean, in
understandable.
most situations, right? Like if it's in a dangerous thing where it's like I need them to do exactly what I say, like there's a dog that's loose and I'm like, come here. Of course, I'm not going to give them a 5-minute explanation of why there's danger around and why I need them to come
They have
here
to
right
figure
now.
out what exactly to
Yeah.
do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like finding that balance of like
Right.
giving them, because you also want to give them the chance to express themselves too, right?
Right.
You don't want to just
Exactly.
shut down their feelings and make them feel like their feelings don't matter whatsoever. That's how you get them to say they hate you.
Exactly.
I hope to never have my kids say they hate me, but you know, kids are angsty and you
Aw.
go through the teenage
Right.
years, whatever. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's the ideal. What about for you, Money? What parenting style were you raised with? And if you
I was
ever,
raised with authoritarian, like what Kira said. Like my parents were super strict on me, and it was it was just me. Like my
Same.
brother got away with so much stuff.
Mhm.
We're only me and my brother are only 16 months apart,
Mhm.
and even though we're similar ages, he got away with so much stuff, and it was only because of the fact I was the eldest daughter. I was the oldest, and I was a girl, and because I'm a girl, I'm not allowed to do certain things. I
Right.
had to
Exactly.
do a lot more chores and stuff like that. I wasn't honestly for the longest time, my entire childhood, I wasn't even allowed to talk. I wasn't allowed to be in the same space as a boy unless there was another girl present. Like I wasn't
Exactly.
allowed, even with group projects. There had to be it had to be a 2-to-1 ratio. So I had to be with another girl or 3 other girls in order to work with you do a school project with another boy. I wasn't allowed to have boys over unless like my parents were in the house. You
Yep.
know. So it was like I spent my entire childhood closeted, yeah, and like introverted, like I couldn't talk to anyone. I wasn't allowed to wear certain things. If my t-shirt or shorts were too short, my parents would ask me to like, you're not leaving like that. Go back and change.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like it wasn't until after I turned 18 when I started going to university, that's when they became so progressive. Like all of a sudden, I'm allowed to go to parties. I'm allowed to go to my frosh week at my university. My dad literally drove me to my university to party. I was like, "What?" He picked me up from a house party. My dad picked me up from a house party. I was like, "What the heck?" But it was like I spent my entire childhood like, having all of this authoritative rules on me. Compared to like my brother where he got away with so much stuff. He could go out at night, he could do what he wants. And obviously we could go through a whole nuance of like sexism and genderism and stuff like that. Especially because I come from an immigrant family background where the girls have to stay at home, they have to do certain things. Guys are like the spoiled the spoiled ones in the family. But even so, I don't think I would ever I don't plan on having kids, but if I ever do, I would never do the authoritative parenting. I turned out okay, I think, for the most part, but I would say it wasn't thanks to my parents' authoritative parenting. I kind of had to learn things on my own. And honestly, I missed out on a lot of stuff when I was younger. But like, looking back, it's like I wouldn't have it any other way, you know what I mean? Like because it made me the person I am today. It made me the person that I am today if it weren't for all those experiences in the past. But yeah, he may in the chat.
Yeah. Batista said
that's how I was raised.
Yeah, Batista said that's why building the trust is important. Knowing there's a reason is important for when you can't immediately give them one. Yeah. And even then, right? Sometimes you can be like, even if you can't give them an answer right then, be like, you know what? Hey, we'll talk about it a bit later. I kind of need to gather my thoughts. You could say that. I think some parents are. Go ahead.
I want to like kind of add on to what you mentioned, G, about when like when parents don't give you a reason, like when they say no but they don't give you a reason why. And like my parents would not give me they would give me a reason, but it wasn't valid. Like it didn't make sense to me. They would say like, "Oh, how come my brother's able to do this and this and that?" "Oh, because you're a girl." Like I wasn't allowed to leave my hometown for university only because I was a girl. like I could have pursued done a different bachelor's degree, gone to like a university I really wanted to go to. I got accepted into it, but they said, "Oh, because you're a girl, you're not allowed to go. We don't want you going off on your own, partying, doing drugs, doing all this and that in another city." But then they sent my brother away. They had no problem sending my brother away. So,
and that's where it comes back to the whole. At a certain point, you have to believe that the parenting and training that you give your kid is enough to send them into the world, to trust them to do stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should trust your kids,
which is like
these things, and give them a valid reason why or why not.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if I ever decided,
I was the oldest, and my brothers were younger. It was like it just really didn't make sense. You know, my brothers were younger, but I was the oldest. But you were allowing them to do whatever they wanted to do.
And I think also part of that is like they're also afraid. Some parents, not all, but some parents are afraid of how other people will judge them based off their parenting. So they're like, so for example, not saying that this would ever happen, right? But like, say Money's parents were like, okay, we're gonna let you go to this party, and like saying, oh, Money got pregnant. Now they're worried about how other parents or other people are going to judge them, like, oh, well, that's your fault because you decided to send her to the party. And it's like, that's not true. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not a what if they chose to do is not a reflection of my parenting, right? They chose to do that. I've explained the details and whatever, you know, that was their choice.
Raise that child better.
Yeah.
Should have raised it better.
Yeah.
Should have done this.
So I personally, I don't really care what other people have to say because they're not providing money for me to do anything. So unless you give me a paycheck, I don't give a shit about your opinion. That's
society now.
Yeah. And like, I don't know. I guess that kind of falls into my next question.
I was just gonna add one more thing. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm going off. But like I feel like there's a whole thing where we can go into like a reputation, maintaining looks and appearances, like parents maintaining these things for their families to please other families or show off to other families. Oh, my kid is doing this. Yeah. But like these accomplishments were not really like. What if this kid did it entirely without your help? You know, and they'll still show. They'll be proud. Oh, I did this. I accomplished this. Why are you taking your kid's accomplishment? You can be proud of them. That's perfectly fine. But what if they did it without your help?
Exactly. Yeah. I can definitely see that. I don't know. I think I kind of was a product of that, in that, like, in a sense, it kind of drove a wedge between me and my siblings because I was more school motivated and they were more party motivated. And so, like, when I got things like scholarship for my college, or like I got on the honor roll or honor society for college, I still remember the day my mom told my brother about it, and then she's like, you should congratulate him. Like, he didn't want to congratulate me, and it kind of was awkward because I'm like, well, if he doesn't want to do it, I don't want to force him to do it. And he was like, yeah, congratulations. But in tone of his voice, like, I knew he didn't really want to do it. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. It's something else. Let me see. But what if, Batista says, but what if you could be a better person? My mom, Hime says, my mom was a helicopter mom, so I never left the house, but I didn't want to. Mom raised me with the phrases, children are to be seen and not heard, and spare the rod and spoil the child. Yeah, that's basically me when I was growing up. My mom always gave me a reason why she was using the chancla on me.
Rod? Oh, using a rod to hit. Oh.
Basically spanking your kids. It's not necessarily a rod, but it's basically spanking.
I've never heard of that. Okay.
My mom always gave me a reason why she was using the chancla on me. I told her to deserve to retire. You know, I didn't know chancla was also a Filipino thing. I thought it was just a Latin thing. That's funny. I didn't know that.
A Latino thing?
Yeah, I thought it was just a Latin
Kira,
thing. Yeah. No, you ever deserve to be hit? Yeah. But yeah, like, it's one of those things where it's like, again, I can understand, especially like if you had a rough day and your kid is coming to you with this thing and you're just like, look, I told you no because I just feel like it. You know what I mean? I would, again, parenting is different, and like, you have days when you're just tired. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to say that I'll be the perfect parent. Oh, I thought you were Filipino.
Hime's mom is Puerto Rican.
Okay. Oh, your mom is Puerto Rican. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
All right.
Good night, PS.
Good night, PS.
Good night, PS.
Yeah. Yeah, that was leading into my next question, which was, do you feel like what's the word? Justify, maybe not justify. Justify is probably not the best word, but I'm gonna use it because that's the best word I have right now. Do you think it's justified that girls should have different, or do you think girls should have different rules than boys, or do you think that it should always be equal? Like, do you think there are certain things that shouldn't be allowed for girls but not for boys, or boys for girls? Same thing. Because like Money
Like if
said
you had
that,
a
like,
daughter versus
yeah,
a son.
yeah, like how Money said that there were things that she couldn't do. Oh, your dad's Filipino. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a nice mix.
Filipino, Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
cool.
food is bussin'.
I know, right?
Yeah. But yeah.
I feel like it should always be equal, and I say this as a biased person for sure because I'm not a girly girl. Well, when I was younger, I wasn't really a girly girl. When I got older, I kind of gotten out of it a little bit, but when I was younger, I was mainly a tomboy, and I wanted to do anything. Like I was always out, like I was outside most of the time before actually just staying in gaming. So I was doing like kickball and wrestling, and I had brothers. So, and even though I had four girl cousins, me and my older cousin would always fight. Like it was just unavoidable because we were just, I don't know, we were just always fighting. And then I also had other boy cousins as well. So we were always, wrestling or doing something outside and being in the grass and everything. So from a biased point of view, I feel like it should be equal. Like even though that, yeah, you're a female, like you can't just be like, oh yeah, you can't do this because you're a female, and then let the boy do it because like at the same time, even though that girls can get pregnant, I mean the boy can get a girl pregnant.
Sure.
So it's both ways, and then it's also like I feel like I don't know when when people are more strict on girls, I really feel like in our society the boys are a lot. I wouldn't say a lot more. I wouldn't say like they should be a lot more coddled, but they are a lot of like police brutality. So it's like when they let the boys go out and do whatever they want to do, it's like they could be harmed. Like little boys can be harmed, or the sports, they can be harmed in sports, not even just police brutality. They can be harmed in sports. They can be harmed doing anything. Girls be, and you see in the media, they be lying about, the R word and everything. So it's like, why are we separating? It can go both ways. Like girls get, even though that we do get treated, which for years we get treated like we should only be in the house. We should only be cooking, and we shouldn't do any hard work. It's tiring. It's just tiring, and it's like we want to do the hard work,
Yeah.
I feel like it's equal.
Yeah, I feel like ideally, I agree with you 100%, and it should be like that. I would definitely say, if I have a kid, I used to kind of be the other way, in terms of like I would want a boy first, but I think I would want a girl first.
I wanted a boy.
Yeah, I think I want a girl first, but it's I don't okay, I don't agree with the whole 100% that girls should have different roles from boys, but I think the reality of it is that this world is a lot more dangerous for a woman than it is for a man, right? A woman depending on the area, right? Like in Japan, maybe it's a bit different because like their society is different, but in like Japan, for example, a woman is a lot more safer for a woman to walk outside at like 2 a.m. by herself than it would be for a woman here walking in America and like here California, at 2 a.m. In general, most women, it's not really safe for them walking at 3, 4 a.m., whatever, right? That's just a small example of it. And I feel like I definitely don't think I think I would be equal when it comes to like letting my son or daughter out the house. But I definitely would want my daughter to be a bit more aware of like her sex and understanding that there's a lot of bad men out here that will take advantage of a woman being out that late or going to parties because they're more, not to say that men can't get drugged at a party, right? Because there's some people that will do that.
It's just less likely.
Yeah, but it's less likely for that to happen to a man than there is to a woman. So I guess, I mean, I don't think my kid, well, maybe based off my genes, probably won't be the partying type, but maybe they will. But yeah, I feel like in that respect, maybe the rules would be a bit different from her in that, like, just because that, and it's not necessarily of a logic thing. That's more of on a me thing, where it's me being protective, right? Because I don't want you out of the house past maybe like 10 or 12, right? Because that's when all the bad stuff happens, or it's more prime hours when it's dark out. Demon hours, right? As a child under 18, there's no reason for you to be out that late, right? Depending on the situation, obviously. I do believe though that it should be equal in terms of like, for example, I always bothered me that like I always had to take out the trash and my sister didn't, and like or like I had to go shovel the driveway, but she didn't have to, and I feel like that should be equal. Like, you wash the dishes, he washes the dishes, she does the laundry, you have to do your laundry. I feel like just their life skills in general, like you have to teach your kids how to do these things. These are things you don't learn in school, right? Like, yeah, we can put the blame on teachers and things like, that the schools are responsible for teaching them, but life skills, like, learning how to shovel your driveway, everyone should know how to do that. Cooking shouldn't be just a woman's task. Everyone should know how to cook. I know that not everyone is fucking Sanji from One Piece and they can cook up anything, but like, you should at least, I feel like, as to be a proper adult, you should at least know how to cook 5 dishes, at least 5 meals for yourself, whether that be breakfast or dinner. Right? At least. Not saying it has to be like, 5-star Michelin, whatever, but enough that you can get by, So in that, I strive for that, Hime. I strive to be Sanji.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But,
I do.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like when it comes to the division of like chores and stuff like that, I definitely think it should be fair. How about okay? So like Money had mentioned about like short shorts and stuff like that and stuff she couldn't wear. Do you feel like when it comes to like controlling what they wear, do you think it should be equal, or do you feel like because
I think
go ahead.
Sure.
I'll tell you what I think.
Oh,
but you guys go ahead.
I think it should be equal. Like, I feel like unless you go to a private school, you wear uniform like that, then you can't really control what the kids wear and stuff. For me, I wasn't able to wear whatever I wanted. I wore hand-me-downs, and they're from my older cousin boys, so I wore like boys' clothes. So I wouldn't be wearing revealing clothes either way, and and then also like sometimes the school board would tell you, oh, you have to change or whatever. You can't have strap more than 3 fingers. It was 3 fingers for me.
3 fingers,
3 fingers, and it had to be 2 fingers above the knee if you're wearing shorts. that was my school dress code. But also, like, I don't think we should restrict. They shouldn't be super restrictive. I think we could have suggestions on what people should or shouldn't wear. It should be just common decency, not like be butt naked and stuff like that. But anyways, just to add on to what you said, G, like, I also agree we should raise them the same. Coming from some household where me and my brother were not raised the same, even though my parents insist, they tell everyone that we were both raised. They raised us the same way. We were not. For example, like, I was told to do the dishes, and then when my parents told my brother to do the dishes, he would refuse to. He wouldn't do it. But if I refused, I got scolding. I got yelled at. But then if he refused, they're like, oh, well, what's the point of asking him if he's just going to keep saying no? It's pointless to ask him to do the dishes if he just keeps saying no. Like, that's not how you're supposed to raise your kid. If he keeps saying no, there should be there should be consequences to saying no.
I can't say no.
Mhm.
So how is he saying no?
Yeah.
Yeah, how is he allowed to say no? They just at one point they pretty much gave up on him because they just found it pointless to even ask him. He's gonna say no to.
Mhm.
It was pointless to do any of them. He was gonna refuse to do any of them. Like that's why I basically I think I had to, in a sense, I had to faster than a lot of other kids. I was making my own lunches by the time I was 11 years old, 12 years old. I had to make my own lunches every single day. My parents never helped me make lunches. They never made breakfast for me. I had to make my own breakfast. Actually, I barely even had a breakfast. I just had a glass of milk in the morning. That was my breakfast. It's kind of sad that I had to grow up fast, but in a sense, it's kind of I learned these life skills on my own, and I'm able to have a sustainable kind of living because of these life skills that I was taught, or I taught myself. But in terms of with my brother, he never made himself lunch. He never made breakfast either. He'd always skip breakfast. And with like lunches, my mom would always drive him to school, and she would always hand him $5 to get himself a lunch. So every day, $5, $5, Monday to Friday, $5. Get yourself a lunch. I had to make my own lunches. I took whatever wasn't left in the fridge and just cooked for myself. Made my own lunch, and then he had the opportunity of buying a cafeteria or whatever lunch was $5, $10, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like it's the fact that if parents enable this bad behavior, if they enable these things from a very young age, they're gonna take these kinds of behaviors throughout the rest of their lives. Like if, for example, my mom handing my brother $5 every day for making lunch, my brother only recently learned how to cook. So it was only like this year that he learned how to. It's not even like and it doesn't even have to be anything extravagant, but it shouldn't have taken you this long to at least make a meal for yourself, a proper meal for yourself. But, maybe I'm going on a tangent here, but I do think that both genders should be raised the same, and I understand that every child is different, and some children might need more assistance and more, attention than the other. But I still think that they should be treated equally.
Right.
No matter.
So, Kira, what do you think about the equality thing, like clothing and everything?
I also agree because, like, coming from, like, high school or whatever, even though it was, like, 2 years ago, oh my god, we're getting old. Like, seeing that most of the girls were more dress coded than boys, it was just, like, crazy because you still seeing boys with, like, shorts that were, like, way high. Like, if we were to wear them, they would literally be like, oh no, you need to go change. Like, and I didn't like that because it's like, why do they get to show their whole calf muscle and everything and meat and thigh, and we can't, like, we can't do that. It doesn't matter, like, if you're skinny, it shouldn't matter, like, what your size is. Like, it definitely should be equal. All, like through and through, like, especially in a school setting. Like we're just here to learn, so it's like, of course you're not supposed to, wear something too short or have your butt showing or whatever. But the fact that they mostly strict that only for girls.
Hold on. How do I? Sorry, go ahead.
You need to change the Nightbot settings.
Yeah, how do I untime?
Log into Nightbot.
Yeah, the only problem is if
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
Let me know if you can still. I'm gonna try to do it.
Strictly for girls. It was just annoying. And then, as far as like my household, I really didn't like. I was a tomboy. I was such a tomboy.
I already undid the ban. Gee. You're good.
Okay. I really didn't wear any like a lot of female, like a really lot of female clothes until I got older. Until I got to like middle, like, no, not even really middle school. Like, I want to say mostly like high school. I started wearing a lot of girly stuff.
Oh my gosh, I was kind of a tomboy too when I was growing up. So I was wearing my hand-me-downs. So I'd be wearing like guy shirts, like boy clothes. And then now I'm a
Yeah.
girly girl. Now I'm for the girl.
Yeah, now
Girly
I'm the
pop
girl.
nation. But that's only after I grew up and was able to afford my own clothes, my own stuff. I got a job
Right.
and I'm able to buy my own like accessories.
My mom
Okay.
like, tried to get me into more girl stuff, but I didn't want to because it was just like, what was the point?
I think it's different when it's forced on you, but the
Yeah.
worst is like when you got to like kind of discover it yourself.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So it was like I really didn't like. I don't know. It didn't really bother me when I was little, but when I got older, I was just like, that shouldn't be like. There's no way that you're telling me that I can't wear this, but that guy over there has like a tank top and shorts that's almost to his stomach, and you're telling me I had to change. No. So yeah, and then my brothers are younger, so we didn't really like clash with clothing for real, but I still feel like it should be equal.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of on the fence, right? Just in sense of, again, ideally, I agree with you. Should be that way. I feel 100%, and again, ideally, and what I would like to happen is that we teach men more about consent and what is okay and what is not okay. I think that needs to be stressed.
That needs to be stressed into
In school, 100%. It should.
Oh yeah, a lot earlier.
Unfortunately, looking at the type of leadership we have in place, and recently was just elected, that type of education is not going to be taught for young men. So unfortunately, it's like I feel in some senses, it kind of has to be different from girls, not because it's the right thing to do, but it's just because we have a generation of men that can't control themselves in terms of like they're not punished, they're not going to be punished for it, not because like, oh, they're animals, they can't it's not an excuse, oh, it's slides, they can control themselves. But some see it as like, oh, this is she wants it, right? Some men see that as like, oh, she's wearing this, that must mean she wants this, which is an absolutely dog shit way to think. It shouldn't be. Unfortunately,
disgusting way to think.
Yeah, unfortunately,
hearing it, you would be like, oh my god.
Yeah, even growing up, like, and this is just from a male's perspective, like you hear that shit in the locker room, like, oh, Susie B was wearing, you saw how big her cleavage was, whatever. Oh, I'm gonna cop a feeling. Like, I've heard these things. It's not just me pulling shit out of my ass. Like, I've heard this. And so in that sense, yes, I feel like it has to be a bit different for girls, just for them to be protected, because again, their men are not taught at home. Most men, I'm not gonna say all, but most men are not taught to moderate, to understand the consent, or they'll be like, oh, because at any point, again, when she says stop, it means stop. Doesn't matter if you were getting into it, whatever. But again, men were like, well, she wanted it, she initiated it. Doesn't matter, right? They're not taught that. Yeah. So in that sense, like I said, ideally, I agree with you 100%. It should be the same. Unfortunately,
it should be, but we can't.
Yeah, the reality is the world that we live in. It might not be a while until we actually start having those conversations with our male sons and whatever, fathers, brothers, cousins, whatever. And a lot of men are not into trying to learn about consent. You'll be seen as a weak man. You know what I mean? Like, again, I have a friend who, in terms of aspects of being a friend, is a really good friend, but he has a very backwards idea of women and what women can do and what they shouldn't do, or if they slept with too many men, then their body count's too high, that means you can't trust them. And the whole, what's the one toxic thing I hate, especially when men quote this shit, where it's like, a key can unlock many locks, or something like that. Or, I forgot that quote. I don't know exactly what it is, that analogy.
Oh, brother.
Whereas, like, I forgot how it goes, but it's something along the lines of, one key can only unlock one lock at a time, but something like
a key can unlock multiple locks, but multiple locks cannot be unlocked by the same key.
Or some stupid bullshit like that. And so when you're seeing this in men and young men, and they're being taught this, then yeah, like as a
Yeah, what Batista
shield,
said in chat.
yeah. So as a shield, yes, I feel like the rules have to be different in terms of like what women, or not women, but kids in school can wear. Just because, again, the reality of it is the boys think like this, like, oh, she was wearing a short skirt today. That means that she's easy, or she wants her butt to be groped, or some shit like that. Unfortunately, and it's wrong. It's real 100% wrong. And hopefully, we come to a point where we're teaching men consent, and we're teaching them that these ideals are wrong. But realistically, that's probably not going to happen for a while.
No, hot minute.
So yeah, so like I don't mind, again, if I have a daughter, I don't really mind her wearing skirts or whatever. But yes, like the length does matter. Right? For her safety, whatever shirt she's wearing that shows cleavage does matter. Just because even then, right? Because let's not talk about the touching aspect. Let's talk about the pervs that take pictures of this shit. I've had people in high school that would take shots of underskirts of girls, that would take pictures of their cleavage or whatever. It's wild, man. It's wild. So for her protection, not so much that it's right. And again, it sucks that I would have to, in a sense, moderate that of what she can wear. It sucks that we can't live in that society. But yeah, ideally outside. Inside is different, right? If I'm allowing my son to walk around in their underwear, whatever, I don't care if my daughter does, right? To me, that's fair. If now people will be like, oh, what if someone's coming over? If someone's coming over, then I expect them both to put on clothes, appropriate clothing. Both of them should have to. I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, he's a boy, he doesn't have to cover up. Just make it equal. But that's me, right? That's just my whatever. I know some people are like, oh no, she has to cover up. No. Because, like, yeah. We don't have to go into that whole side tangent, but yeah, you understand what I'm saying. So in that sense, I can't 100% agree with both of you in the sense that it should be equal always. Because it's just, not because, like, it's not right? Like, it's not equal for, it's just the reality of the world that we live in.
Yeah.
And protecting them based off the sex, right? Not when I say gender, because gender, you can choose whatever gender you want, sex.
Yeah.
Again,
I do think girls need a little extra protection.
Yeah.
I guess being extra cautious.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to restrict what she can wear because, like, oh, I don't want people to think she's fast or whatever. Like, I don't care about that. It's more so to protect her from the creeps and people that understand what consent is. And that's not to say that just because her wearing modest clothing is going to protect her. Because, again, there are people that they don't care what you're wearing.
You can wear full-on sweatpants.
Yeah, you can wear a full suit of armor and they'll still sexualize you. But for the most part, to protect her and make sure she's not, like, getting clipped, her undies aren't getting put on the internet or whatever, Yeah, so that's my take on it. So I guess a different question is always something I usually ask friends or whatever that have kids. Some people say this, and some I've gotten mixed responses from it. When you had your kid, do you feel like everything changed for you? Like the minute you held her, do you feel like everything changed?
Yes. Oh my god. The moment she was in my arms, everything changed. It was just like it was so surreal. Like, oh my god, I'm a mother. So, well, you don't know, but yeah, it was just so surreal. So it's just like everything changed as far as like now I have to take care of a whole small little human for the rest of their lives. Like even after 18, like people say like you have to take care of them until they're 18. I still be asking my mom like for help and asking her for like advice and stuff. So like for most of their lives, you're gonna be taking care of them. So everything definitely changed.
Okay. I guess that transforms into a different question, which is, do you understand or do you feel maybe that your role after they become 18 changes? So this is what I mean when I say this, right? I feel like there are some parents that will never see you as a full adult. because they're your parent, right? They don't understand that at a certain point, yes, they're still your parent, but they can no longer, or they should no longer be dictating what you do, right? They can guide you and give you advice, but at a certain age, what their kids do, that's not under their control. That's not for them to decide, right? Like you raise them in because it's like parents. I mean, animals in general, right? Animals only raise you to a certain age, and then you're out on your own, right? Some are more social in the sense that they do come back and visit their parents, but for the most part, yeah, they're on their own. Do you feel like you understand that balance, or do you think completely differently? Do you feel like even if they're after they're 18, I'm still their mama, I'm gonna tell them what to do, and they better do it?
Coming from a household that once you're 18, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Yeah, I understand that. Because, well, let me rephrase that. You can do whatever the hell you want to do when you're 18 and you're out of my house. So, I moved out when I was 19. So, when, and that was honestly, that was my choice. And there was the whole thing with that. Because of a roommate that was supposed to have and didn't have, but ended up being by myself, which I wish that never happened. I wish I was eligible to stay because they wanted me to stay and build the money up and, you know, leave after. So I wouldn't struggle as much. But yeah, I moved out at 19, and as soon as I turned 18, it was like me and my mom, we were best friends. It was like, you are an adult now. You're experiencing the world now, and so yeah, I understand it completely. But I don't know. I feel like I still see myself kind of trying to baby her, especially when she turns 18. Because it's hard for me to not baby her now.
Right? No, she's still a baby.
She's still a baby. So it's like I don't even know. Just like I can like think about it right now. I feel like I'm gonna baby her, but yeah. But I do understand that once they're 18, they're eligible to do whatever the hell they want. Right.
Right, because like I, at least from examples I've seen, right, I feel like there's the parents that like they hop in for every single thing that their kid gets in trouble with. And like, I'm not saying you don't go to your parent when you need help, right? I'm not saying that. But some lessons I feel like your kid needs to learn, because there's going to come a time when you're not going to be there. You might be dead. And now they don't know how to deal with the situation because they've always been with you to do it.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, I have a random like story that I heard, but I've heard on the radio that there are some like Gen Zers who bring their parents to job interviews.
Oh, wow.
That's what I heard.
I've never heard of that. Okay.
No.
I heard on the radio.
I've heard about parents bring their kids to dates. But yeah, there's this one story I was reading where this guy went on a date with this girl, and he brought his mom. And he was like, oh, no, it's okay. She just wanted to say hi. And her mom actually sat at the table with them and ordered wine and was growing the date. This is a first date, by the way. This isn't like someone she's known for a while. Yeah, so it's funny.
That's weird.
Yeah. Hi, Hime.
Yeah, all right, Hime. Thank you for coming. I always appreciate your takes.
Hi, Hime.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like, again, I can only say this because I don't have a kid yet, so I don't know. But I feel like if I ever do become a parent, I know the difference. Like, once they're 18, like, yes, they're still my kid. They'll always be my kid. But, like, there's certain lessons that they're going to have to learn, and that I can't always I can't dictate anymore what they do, in the sense, like, as long as, again, once they're in my house, yeah, it's different. But, like, once you're out and you're on your own, whatever, I can't tell you what to do. Be like, oh, you're going to stay to this party to 5 a.m.? Okay. Go ahead, right? There's something I can do, you know what I mean? You're dating this, you're dating this guy, that's whatever. Or you're dating this girl, that's whatever. That's whatever. If I'm telling you about the warning signs, you choose to ignore it, you have to learn that lesson, you know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like letting go is is something parents should learn. I guess my next question would be in terms of what was I gonna say? In terms of parenting. Oh yeah, in terms of parenting, what do you feel is the most important lesson you want to impart to your child?
The most important, I would say, be aware of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Ooh.
for me, I used to not be aware of my surroundings. Like, I mean, well, I wouldn't say I was not aware. It was just like I'm oblivious to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, like for example, like I would be out with my friends and a guy would be like this old, like it was like we were at a gas station
Mm-hmm.
and this old guy or whatever was like I guess trying to talk to me and was about to touch me or trying to lay me down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My friend seen it. I didn't see it. And I like walked, like literally walked past him before he touched me or whatever. And then she was like, "Oh my God, you need to watch what you're doing because he was about to touch you." And I was just like, "What are you talking about?" Like I just was so oblivious. Like it's just certain things that I would notice, and then certain things I just completely just black out. So I would most definitely tell her to be aware of her surroundings because anything could happen because they could have not have been there. So I don't know. That would be the main thing that I would say. If she's anything like me.
Stay strapped.
Yeah.
Right.
I think for me, which is something my mom taught me, and I never really questioned it. I never really argued with it, but I feel like it's more important now, is that your education is very important. Just because no one can take that away from you once you have it. And yeah, I kind of want to impart that to my kid because I feel like, again, with the damage that's about to be done to the board of education, to the school system, a lot of our kids unfortunately will be a lot dumber. So this generation, the generation that follows us is, yeah.
I mean, it's good that this generation is getting into content and everything, but that's being more push than getting an education.
Exactly,
well.
like being a content creator is being put like you hear now. You know, when you're a kid, you know, when you're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a vet. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a firefighter.
Right.
now
it's I want to be a Twitch streamer.
I want to be a TikToker.
I want to be a TikToker. I want to be Mr. B.
Yeah. I'm like, what? Yeah. So yeah, that is one of the things that I feel is most important. All
that stuff is hard work. Like you really have to put in the work for that, and they don't understand that. Like that's not going to give you the money right away. Like where you just apply for a job, do the interview, and then you start working, then you get the money. And that's even more easier than something like this, where you would have to have to put it to the side and then wait till that build up. They don't understand that yet.
I guess I would ask. I guess one of my last questions, maybe, based off how you were raised, in comparison with your daughter, do you feel like you would raise her the exact same way, or do you feel like there are major edits to the how you were raised that you would change, or do you feel like the way you were
similar to the question that I was going to ask?
There would be major edits because I feel like me and my mom didn't really talk as much, like as far as our feelings. Like I felt like I really couldn't talk to her, even though she would say I could, but it just really didn't feel like that way.
Like you could talk to me
until I got older. Until I got older, yeah.
And then you tell them, and then you get in trouble.
Right, and then you get in trouble, and then it's like, you told me to.
You told me to open up. Like not that open.
Yeah, you gotta be respectful. Like, okay. But yeah, so I would definitely that would be a major feat with her. Like I would literally have her, make sure she's eligible to come to me whenever, for whatever. So that'll be the main thing. I don't think there would be anything else besides that. Besides the gentle parenting thing. Not just straight going for whoopings and everything.
Right.
So yeah. Other than that. Yeah.
Do you feel
I
like?
feel like something else. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I want to bring this up because I feel like some, especially our parents' generation, like they don't believe in mental health, and I feel like
Yeah.
talking about your mental health problems to your parents was hard when we were growing up, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like nowadays it's a lot more open to talk about mental health and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because my parents, they understand that now, and you know,
Now,
they always
yeah.
ask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they always ask now, like, how are you? Like, you know, back
Aww.
then,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, as a person, or maybe now versus when you weren't a parent versus now, do you feel like you're open more to criticism? Because like again, just heralding back to the, or not heralding, but going back to the old story that we read about like how the daughter said she hated her mom and wish she was more like, ex-mom. Do you feel like you're open to criticism from your kid?
I feel like I am to a certain extent because I feel like I get defensive over certain things,
Mm-hmm.
especially like if like because I'm around a lot of older folks, so they've had kids, so they're gonna tell you, oh, hold her head up or do this, do that, and I'm just like, I got it. I know what I'm doing. Like, I got it. Because, we had like my little brothers and my little cousins and other people kids too. So it's like I'm not really new to this, but now that it's my child, I kind of know a lot of what I should be doing, and it's very, very different than taking care of somebody else's child because you really want to be careful now. So yeah, it's just I feel like I am, but to a certain extent. Yeah, very defensive. Very defensive.
How about you, Money? You have any other questions you wanted to ask Kira?
I had two questions, but I think you kind of, what your last question was kind of similar to what I was gonna say, but I wanted to ask Kira if there's something you wanted, like you could take away from the way that your parents raised you and take that lesson towards raising your own child.
To take away, I would say like mostly the strictness. Like I would try to take that away, at least to the point where like when they're saying that you can't sleep over, at least they wouldn't at least try to meet the parents or meet the person I'm trying to sleep over house or anything. They would at least try to work around it. They would just be like, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, no, you can't do that. It wasn't really a reason, or if it was a reason, it didn't really make sense. So I would definitely try to take away a little bit of the strictness and try to like, be more open-minded to certain things.
Yeah, because again, I understand as a parent, a concern, you're worried about something happening over there.
Right.
But again, it's about building social structure for your kids. So maybe taking some preventive measures, like having both the child that they're spending the night with phone number, as well as the parent's phone number, making sure that you know the exact address and where they're going to be going, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you want to take it a bit further, having a tracker in their sleeping bag or having a tracker in one of their overnights bag, because things happen, you know what I mean? You never know. So
yeah, I mean, now kids have phones. We used to use landlines back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, it was different in the 90s, right? Yeah, in the 90s, you just had to hope that your kid wasn't,
household.
I couldn't even get a phone for the longest, and I had to walk home. So it was just like, can I get a phone, like, so I can be, feel more safe or whatever? They were like, you're literally walking from here to here, like it's not that long.
Yeah, it's like someone could be watching you though, so you never know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, what was the other question you had, Money?
My last question is, since you are a person of color, do you think that you would encounter more obstacles being a mother and a person of color as well compared to other mothers,
I believe so because,
Mhm.
because mainly people, women of color are seen, mainly most of them are single moms and everything,
Mm.
and sometimes I'm like out of the house with her by myself. So I feel like I would encounter more obstacles, especially going to the store, like the grocery store. The other day, there was a guy, and I was walking in the store with her, just walking in the store just to get like a little. I forgot what I was getting. I think I was just getting Twizzlers. I think I was just getting.
Mhm.
And I was just walking in the store with her, and he's like, "Oh my God, she's so beautiful." And I think I heard him say like a slick remark, like, "These kids today, they just don't know. They just don't know why. Like, why is she holding?" It was just something, some little slick remark of something of about me having a kid or whatever. And I was just like, "What? Like,
Mhm.
like why would you say that? Like,
Mhm.
and then like, did you say that because I'm black and single, or like you
Mhm.
think I'm single, or well, I'm not single, but did you say that because you
Yeah.
thought I was single? Like, did
Mhm.
you say that because of my color? Like, did you say that because I
Yeah.
was young, or like what? Like,
Mhm.
why did you
That's
say that?
crazy.
Yeah. So it was just like, okay, whatever.
And I feel like there's a lot of assumptions, especially with black women, black mothers, that the father is never present in the picture, and that's like such a
Right.
common stereotype, I think.
Like, you can't go anywhere without somebody judging. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. I feel like I will encounter a lot more of those for sure.
Mhm. I definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, like I said, stereotypes, and doesn't
Yeah.
help now to have a president that pushes that agenda about race.
Exactly. They're being more and more
So,
bold.
yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, did you have anything that you wanted to discuss, Kira, or any questions or anything you wanted to ask?
Uh, no, no,
Okay.
not really. No.
All right.
Yeah, we're
Well,
getting a lot of insight and
mhm.
Oh,
um, a lot of insight and a lot of good questions. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Okay. Well, we don't have any resources this time, unfortunately, because even if we did, again, parenting is different for every
parenting
parent
is, yeah,
and for
everyone's
every
different.
kid.
Different
So,
parents.
yeah, just do the
Mhm.
best you can. And, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess listen to
Wait, what's
the
your baby's name again? Can we,
Kamaya.
wait,
Maya.
Kamaya. Oh,
Maya.
beautiful.
Beautiful.
Kamaya.
Yeah,
Mm.
so, yeah,
Next
guys.
special guest, Kamaya. Kamaya will
Yes,
be the
Kamaya.
next
In like, what,
special
20
guest.
years? Crazy.
She got something
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
I
saying.
already know she's gonna be a certified yapper when she grows up.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, that's I guess that's it for episode 11. Definitely
Yay.
give Kira a follow. Hopefully I'm spelling
Yes.
your name right. It doesn't have a space, right?
No, it's just spicy
Okay,
Kira.
Spice
So everything.
follow
Yeah.
Spicy Kira at
Spicy
Twitch.
Kira. The
Um
spiciest of Kiras.
yeah, Kira, do you have anything to plug? Anything coming up?
Yes. Once we get settled in Germany in
Mhm.
February or whatever, I will be
Germany.
coming back
Hey.
to Twitch. I'll be
Mhm.
coming back to Twitch, and also
Ooh.
vlogging
Mhm.
while we're doing our little Germany trip and everything.
Mhm.
So
Ooh.
stay tuned for that, especially like during her nursery, like her room and everything.
Mhm.
Oh.
Okay.
And
Uh
traveling in Europe.
yeah, that's what's up. It's a nice little chapter in your life.
So
That's cool.
exciting.
Yeah. Bunny,
So,
do you have anything to plug?
You guys can follow me at Manisa on all platforms on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. I will be having a special live smaxing stream next month. Planning to do a huge stream for that. Other than that, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and spicy Kira
Um.
everywhere. Besides
Yeah.
Twitter. I don't like
Yeah,
Twitter.
Spicy Kira.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, on Twitter too, or X,
Oh. No,
or
it's
Blue
Twitter.
Sky,
It's Twitter.
or
Yeah,
Blue
blue
Yeah.
Sky, or
sky.
You
whatever.
following those silly rules. Yeah. yeah, for me, nothing really. Maybe something in January, completing some streams from the Halloween event I did. Yeah, and TM soon with everything else. With me. Yeah, and I think that's about it for episode 12. Let's see.
Right out today.
Well, yeah. Okay. I guess chakra is on. I guess we can read out to some art. Oh, sorry. Oh, hold on. Okay, we're back. It's black screen. Yeah, we're gonna raid out to Chakri. Hold on. Here's the raid command. And then Chakri. Let's see. Okay. All right, guys. So look forward to episode 12 coming soon. We haven't decided a topic yet, but yeah, look forward to it. And thank you guys for joining us. Thank you again, Kira, for giving us some of your valuable time. Really enjoyed it discussing this. Yeah, shout out to Kamaya.
Shout out to the baby.
Yeah, really enjoyed talking about this topic with you. Yeah, and good luck on your future endeavors in Germany. That sounds very exciting.
That sounds so exciting.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah. So remember, guys, yeah, eat your vegetables. Make sure
Eat your veggies.
yeah, not constipated, you know,
like
all that good
veggies.
stuff.
I like my veggies. What's it called? That something Gracie's Corner.
Gracie's Corner, yeah. Shout out to all the childhood brands.
It's the veggie dance.
Lululemon, I think Coco Melon, I think is
Coco Melon.
So that's a Coco.
Wait.
Yeah, that's distracting.
The brain rot.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Rogers and
Rachel.
yeah, the Wiggles, all them good old kid shows, you know. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Say hi to Chakra and remember that our rules are different from hers, so be respectful. All right, bye, guys.
Bye, chatters. Bye.
All right.
Yay,
Read
it
out. Make sure. Okay.
Okay, there we go. We're in.
Okay.
Thank you, Kira, for being part of this.
Yeah.
No,
I'm so glad you hopped on. Like, I feel like